What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Monday Night Raw of Cena's last Raw ever, as well as wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including John Cena headlining the 2026 Hall of Fame, the real reason why Maxxine Dupri defeated Becky Lynch for the IC title, has Brock Lesnar really joined the Vision, an epic return on Raw, Shane McMahon was in the crowd at Raw, WWE furious with fired wrestler, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, a shock title change. Now we now have a new Women's Intercontinental Champion, and it's none other than Maxxine Dupri. In a shocking upset, AJ Lee returned to WWE to distract Becky Lynch, and this allowed Dupri to hit a Ricky Steamboat crossbody to secure the win. Whilst there were significant rumors that AJ Lee was returning at the MSG show, nobody expected Dupri to pull out the surprise win. AJ is now set for the babyface side of War Games, and Lynch will inevitably join the heel side of things. Number 2, Ziggler returns. Solo Sikoa's mystery opponent was Dolph Ziggler. Raw GM Adam Pearce was correct. Nobody had predicted Ziggler and had received a nuclear reaction from the live crowd. Ziggler is still one of the best pure workers in pro wrestling, and his selling and bumping was once again superb. I mean, literally, he was bumping like a boss for Solo Sikoa. Ziggler failed to get the W in the match, but there are vocal calls from fans to see WWE re-sign the former world champion. There's only the question if Ziggler wants to come back for good though. Number 3, OG theme returns. Gunther is back and has his original WWE theme song. This slight change of presentation is welcome, and it makes Gunther even more intimidating, even though the crowd was shouting Walter at him. And an added bonus of Lil Yachty's appearance. Now come on, shout out to Lil Yachty, who was in the front row of Raw last night, but with a PSP in hand playing SmackDown vs Raw 2006. That was goat shit status right there. Number 4, Evans shines. Javon Evans had the performance of a lifetime in his match versus Gunther last night. Despite him losing the match, Evans showed the world why he was going to become a WWE mainstay for many years to come. And chaos ensues. A bedlam ensued during the main event segment of Raw. We got the return of Brock Lesnar, who practically cleared house, and then Roman Reigns returned to side with the babyfaces and managed to easily dispatch Lesnar. The NYPD would also enter the proceedings, and this was an Attitude Era style angle that was delivered extremely well. The sides are now set for War Games, and the match will mark Lesnar's first ever appearance inside the popular match type. We just wish that the cameras were still rolling, as the brawl ensued even after the cameras were off. But that was a good. What about the bad is number 1, John Cena's final Raw match. A Raw live from MSG happened to be John Cena's final ever Raw, and unfortunately, the best they could come up with was a 6-man tag for WWE's resident GOAT. Cena would team with Sheamus and Rey Mysterio, who are granted 2 names he has long history with to take on the Judgment Day. Whilst the match was fun, fans were clearly expecting a huge singles match against the likes of CM Punk or even Randy Orton, so there is some justified disappointment there. Ultimately, due to Cena defending his IC Championship against Dominic Mysterio at Survivor Series next weekend, they need to build up a rematch, and they felt like this was the most effective way to achieve that. Still, a one-on-one match would have been better. And number 2, weak storytelling. The feud between Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella is just getting started, but on Raw it was confirmed that Nikki is now number 1 contender for Vaquer's Women's World title. Fans have been quick to question this, as Nikki hasn't won a featured match in a considerable amount of time. Now suddenly she's number 1 contender? It would have helped if Nikki had been built up prior, as Vaquer simply granting her a title shot doesn't exactly help Nikki's credibility or legitimacy. There was nothing downright ugly on this week's show. The show felt huge in scale with numerous returns and cameos, and this is the type of show WWE needs to deliver if it's going to keep the attention of fans in 2025. I mean seriously, SmackDown's episode this week ain't topping this. Right now, there's a huge difference between the 2 brands, and it shows. What do you guys think of John Cena's last ever Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now our first story looks at John Cena headlining the 2026 Hall of Fame. Our top story today takes a look ahead at the 2026 Hall of Fame, as it's been revealed that all signs are pointing towards John Cena headlining the class. According to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer Radio, the belief in WWE is that Cena is headlining in 2026. Belief is seen as very likely the 2026 Hall of Fame main eventer. This is obviously a huge deal, and whilst it may come as a surprise to see Cena inducted this early, it's likely that he's informed WWE of his availability, and WrestleMania 42 weekend fits in perfectly. This also means that Cena will make an appearance on the WrestleMania broadcast itself. However, Cena has outright stated that future appearances will be in a suit, so Cena strutting to the ring in a suit will be a unique visual to say the very least. After all, he did say that he was hanging up those jorts for good come 13th December. Now it goes without saying that this is one of the most justified Hall of Fame inductions of all time, and Cena going in at the same time as Stephanie McMahon is rather fitting. Cena credits Stephanie for in essence saving his entire career, and this likely played a role in Cena picking this select weekend to be inducted. Now things can change between now and April, but as for now it does indeed look like Cena is Hall of Fame bound in 2026, so we will see him next year as well. Next up, the real reason why WWE delivered a shock title change. Now on Raw live from the famous Madison Square Garden arena, Maxxine Dupri won her first singles gold in WWE by defeating the legendary Becky Lynch. In fact, she now holds a singles title before Chad Gable, and don't get me started on all those rumors that he won the Speed Championship. That's El Grande Americano. But this came as a major surprise to many, and there are a few potential reasons why WWE decided to deliver the shock title change. Well, the first reason is that it helps build up the Women's War Games matchup for next weekend. AJ Lee has formally joined the babyface side of things, and Lynch is likely going to join the heel team. Due to AJ returning and distracting Lynch, this gives Lynch a justified reason to team with the heels. This is smart storytelling, as Lynch isn't just joining the heels for the sake of it. This also gives the match added stakes, as Lynch has something to fight for. Her arch rival is present in the match, and she's not just fighting random babyfaces because it happens to be Survivor Series. This is the type of booking WWE really needs to integrate, especially if War Games is going to be a yearly staple on the WWE calendar. Now the second reason is that it gives WWE a huge shocking moment on Raw. Raw is supposed to be WWE's flagship show, and this is the type of content that Netflix executives will want moving forward. One of the things the WWE product is missing is genuine surprises, and this extends to title changes. This type of booking used to be commonplace during the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era, however in the modern day, extended title reigns are popular booking mechanisms. And finally, WWE giving Dupri the title shows that they actively reward talent for getting better and getting over with the audience. Dupri has been impressive in the feud with Lynch, and despite her inexperience, she's managed to connect with the crowd, which is hard to do in 2025 if you're somewhat limited in the ring. And let's face it, Dupri isn't exactly a wrestling machine. Dupri's win sends a clear message to talent up and down the card, and it'll be interesting to see how Dupri's reign plays out. Next up, did Brock Lesnar join the Vision? And last night on Raw, Brock Lesnar returned to WWE TV to attack the babyface team for Survivor Series War Games. Does this mean that Lesnar is now officially a member of the Vision? Well, the Lesnar and Paul Heyman relationship is pre-established, and as we saw at WrestlePalooza, the two are once again on good terms. It's likely going to be explained on Raw next week that Heyman simply made the call and Lesnar is doing the bidding of Heyman. And whilst it's unlikely that Lesnar is an official member of the faction, it's possible that he acts as a secondary member on Raw moving forward. Lesnar is a part-time talent and his appearances are going to be few and far between. He's only expected to work the major shows, so whenever Lesnar appears on television, having him at the side of Heyman and having him associated with Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed is a very smart move and would instantly elevate both Breakker and Reed. This would also subtly help build up the eventual Lesnar vs Breakker match, which has been heavily rumored for a future WrestleMania event. Another factor is that it's entirely possible that Lesnar pins one of the reigning world champions inside of War Games. Lesnar challenging for the world title again would be a huge deal, and we can easily look towards Lesnar challenging either man at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Due to Rhodes being in an established feud with Drew McIntyre, there's a strong chance that Punk is the one that's pinned via an F5 in the Survivor Series main event. Next up, an epic return on Raw. Raw was truly the show of returns. The show featured the returns of Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee, and Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's pop for his match versus Solo Sikoa was a clear sign that fans really missed the show off and want him back in WWE. After his match versus Sikoa, fans flooded social media as it urged WWE to bring Ziggler back into the fold. Triple H's photo with Ziggler on X was swamped with fans demanding that they bring him back, and due to WWE often giving in to social media pressure, it's not out of the realm of possibilities to see WWE commit to giving Ziggler another run in the company. Again, like we mentioned in the review, it's all down to Ziggler on whether he wants another run in WWE, as they've dropped the ball on him multiple times. Next up, a rumor killer on a top star being at Raw. Now, before Raw went live last night, it was reported that Liv Morgan was backstage at the show. This then led to speculation that the former world champion was going to return on the show in some capacity. Now, Morgan didn't appear on the show, and it's now surfaced thanks to a report from PW Insider that Morgan wasn't backstage and she wasn't even in New York. For those who've asked about rumors of a Liv Morgan return on Raw tonight, those claims are incorrect. Morgan is not in New York City and was never scheduled to appear on that show, PWInsider.com can confirm. And Morgan is still reportedly recovering from her surgery early in the year, and she is expected to return sometime in early 2026. But you know who was there? Shane McMahon. Yeah, Raw was a hot ticketed event, and one name who attended the show was Shane McMahon with his son. Numerous fans in attendance noted that the former European champion was in attendance, and McMahon confirmed via Instagram that he was in attendance with his son. According to McMahon, he wanted to celebrate John Cena and pay tribute to one of the greatest of all time. Next up, WWE furious with a fired wrestler. Now, Gigi Dolan stirred up some controversy after she revealed on a podcast that contracts for performers in NXT can be as low as $30,000 a year, pointing out that many fans assume working in WWE automatically means being rich, but not being the case. After she made that comment on the podcast, there was a little bit of backlash towards her, as it seemed that she was complaining about the salary. But she mentioned, "Let me just clarify, never did I say that there was anything wrong with this salary, nor was I complaining about it, especially considering this is starting out. When I started wrestling, I was lucky to get $20 after driving all night just to get a spot on the show. I was simply making a point that contracts and salaries can vary greatly depending on where and who you are, and with TV living expenses, it can be tough. A lot of you have took this and made it into something it's not." However, that wasn't enough for WWE, as according to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, WWE officials were angered by a statement that $30,000 figure being attached to NXT contracts. She mentioned that people make as little as $30,000, and man, people in WWE were not happy with that interview, because nobody's making $30,000 in NXT. The NXT deals start at $75,000. Now, it's possible that Gigi Dolan was talking about the WWE's ID program, the very bottom of developmental. However, it seems that the damage has already been done, and WWE were not happy about that statement as it gives a false impression. And finally, WWE high on a star. Now, final story today looks at a report related to Javon Evans. Evans impressed last night on Raw with an incredible match versus Gunther, and the sky is truly the limit for the young upstart. Now, a new report from Body Slam Plus via Patreon has revealed that WWE execs believe that Evans is the present and future of WWE. Evans has made quite the impression with WWE brass since signing. Over the last few months, Evans has been on NXT, SmackDown, TNA, Raw tonight, and the AAA event later this week. Multiple execs in WWE believe that Evans is not only the present but the future of WWE. The amount of exposure that Evans has gotten recently speaks volumes to the level of confidence that WWE has in him as ultimate babyface. Evans has big time potential on the main roster, and hopefully they'll give him the platform to get over on either Raw or SmackDown. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.